Hello YouTube, Brad with OnlineGolfLessons.net. How can I help you with your golf swing? Put it in the comments, please. I'm having a blast. Facebook friend me, messenger me, whatever. I'd love to look at your swing. I'd love to give you a little bit of free advice. I do have to make a living, and I've had great success in the past few weeks starting to get people to come and purchase lessons and packages and stuff, and they're loving it because I'm very ethical, and I think that I happen to provide elite golf instruction. I really do. I'm at that point in my career where I want to make things fair in price. I want to be inclusive, but I want to make sure that people are getting a great bang for their buck. And I know that people are, and those of you who are, please put that in the comments. But I also understand that some people are on a budget, so that's why I have this YouTube channel. I want to help answer questions. I'm behind in videos. I apologize. I had a great question regarding wrist hinge or bends in the wrist. Like, what do you do with hinging or bending and all this stuff? Because Brad, you always talk about half swings, half pace with the arms dead straight and the wrist staying firm. That's right. I am huge on what happens under the hips, right? So under the waist, from here to here, before impact, after impact is when the club's traveling the fastest, and that's why people don't have success improving or they get stuck in golf, is because they're allowing that lead wrist to extend. They're flicking, they're letting the elbows break apart. It's a fast part of the swing, so you've got to start with slow swings and half swings and feel exactly what you have to feel in order to not flick or lose structure with that radius. So keep at that. That truly is the secret to golf, if there is one, is that you've got to have good wrist conditions and then learn how to do it faster and longer. But keep watching the videos. I promise more improvement. I'm loving the feedback. Somebody asked me though, he said, I'm trying to remember who it was, but it was a great question. He's like, you like all these half swing drills and stuff, but when do you hinge your wrist in the golf swing? I look at it like this. You can have an early hinge, a late hinge. It doesn't really matter too much. If you're looking for a recommendation, you'll find that ascent of the club head is provided with the shoulder down. So I say get the shoulder down and the hands fairly quiet at first, but we don't want this club at P2 getting too far behind us or picking it up too fast and having to require like a Jim Furyk loop when we're not Jim Furyk, right? So I say you can kind of bring it into play. I would say that you want to have a pretty full hinge at P3, right? So this is about 3/4 back. You want to have a little bit of that upward cocking of the wrist or hinging. So shoulder down provides the ascent at the beginning of the takeaway, but we've got to make sure we get some wrist hinge, wrist cock, whatever you want to call it, so the club doesn't get behind us. But I like to have a nice L. I like to have that second lever established by the time I'm at about P3. But I also want to make sure that I don't have a cupping in my wrist. I want to be flat or even a little bit bowed, right? Because most people are slicing. So I think that's a good thing to do. So it's not just about when or how to hinge. It's about making sure that there's a proper bend in there. So we do have the upward cocking, but there's going to be a little bit of this too, right? So you can practice that at home. Make sure that you've got good wrist conditions at P3. There's just a little more turn for P4. With irons, sometimes people feel like P3 is about all they need, right? I like to throw darts with my irons and not worry too much about power, but I do want to make sure that I don't look like this and I don't look cupped. I want to make sure that I'm flat or bowed a little bit and that have established that letter L, a full wrist cock or wrist hinge, by the time I reach position 3. I hope this helps. I have to make another video on alignment. I'm really not happy because there's beautiful weather out there and my neighbors are throwing a pool party for a birthday. So I'm in my living room instead of my outdoor studio that I paid money to create.